Welcome ladies and gentlemen. In today's video I will be telling you the best way to level up your weapons in Vanguard, zombies and multiplayer. Now if you don't know, the leveling up in this game is absolutely ridiculous as of right now, and the requirements to unlock camos are even more crazier, but to get to those crazy camos you need to get up to level 70 on some of these weapons, which is again pretty insane. So in today's video I'll go over some of the methods that I have found out myself that are pretty good, and unfortunately the best one that I'll go over at the end of the video is exclusive to PlayStation. So if you're not a PlayStation player, unfortunately the fastest way to level up your weapons, you will not be able to use it. But before we fully get into the video, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to hitting 50,000 subscribers hopefully with Vanguard, so that would be pretty cool if you would like to subscribe, and if this video does help you out in any kind of way, also be sure to drop a like at the video as that does really help out. So the main method to get your XP level as best as possible is through multiplayer. Now if you're going to be comparing zombies to multiplayer, from what people have calculated, if you use certain strategies of spawning into, let's say, zombies Deron Fong, which let's be honest isn't even that fun of a mode, you will have to spend around 6 to 7 hours leveling up the weapon till level 70 fully by just playing the first objective and then backing out. Obviously if you play on, you have a potential chance of spending less time, but that would just take a ridiculous amount of time. So in my opinion, the best thing for you to do is play multiplayer. Now the only disadvantage with this is if you're, let's say, not a multiplayer gamer, or let's say if you're a zombies player, well then I feel like you'll be either way spending most of your time on multiplayer because, well, once again the zombies experience isn't too great. Now it doesn't matter which game mode you play, but definitely playing things like domination or anything that can actually go on for a pretty long amount of time and allows you to get a reasonable amount of kills will be probably one of the best things to use. Now in addition to this, every single weapon from what I've checked have this special attachment on these weapons that will allow you to get an increased XP boost. Now this attachment isn't available on zombies itself and is specifically for multiplayer, but it is called the surplus attachment and it is in the kit section of your weapons. So you have to progress through your weapon levels, and once you unlock kit you will be able to see that the first one is fast melee, reach, and then the third one should be surplus on most of the weapons in the game. Now this will give you an additional amount of XP for one kill that you get, so that's why just in general the best way to level up these weapons as of now is by getting as many kills as possible. In my opinion, you don't even have to play game modes like hardcore because the time to kill, so the amount of time that it takes you to kill a player in a normal core game, is actually pretty good and feels nearly almost like hardcore, which is pretty great since you don't have to play hardcore with the disadvantage of not having a mini map and just in general not seeing a lot of things on your screen, which is actually really helpful playing core. So I definitely recommend playing core for this. It will be pretty good, and just in general multiplayer is really fun. So apart from using this specific attachment, another thing you can actually use is obviously tokens. Now these tokens you can actually get right now from the battle pass that is still season 6 from Cold War and Warzone, and in there you can get certain amount of tokens for your character, for your weapons, and also just in general your overall level. So if you want to spend those tokens, you can actually activate them from your main menu by pressing the specific button that it says in the corner. For me it says L3 on the PS5. Once you press that, you basically have the option of choosing any of these tokens, which is something I feel like is just like a basic understanding now throughout the community. And don't worry, once the integration of Warzone that will be coming in December 2nd or December 3rd, depending on if you own Vanguard, or if you don't, you will be able to play Warzone early. I don't know how they're going to integrate that exactly, but that should basically allow us to use all of the Cold War tokens and all of the Warzone ones, but that's a thing to be worried about for the future. Well, actually not worried about, but to look forward to the future. Another thing that is really good in this game apart from the attachments is the operators themselves. So currently in the game we have 12 operators. Each one of these operators have their own favorite weapon. For example, the first operator, called Daniel in the Hellhound section, his favorite weapon is the M1 Garand. The second character, Wade, his favorite weapon is the Type 100. The second character, Halima, her favorite weapon is the MP40. So as you can see here, there's a pattern. These players or operators have their favorite weapon, and when you use this said weapon with these operators in game, if it's zombies or multiplayer, you will have an increased amount of XP. Now, I'm not 100% sure how this XP works, so definitely if you're going for any one of these weapons out of these 12 operators, if they specifically have a weapon you want to get leveled up, or just use these operators and level up these weapons faster, then definitely use their favorite weapon. And if you go into the character, it says that, for example, for me on level 12, I'm going to get 1,500 1500 MP40 XP. So I don't know if that means that I also have an increase of XP while I use this weapon, and then at the same time when I upgrade this said character to level 12 I will get an additional 1500, or if it's the other way around. But 1500 XP is actually quite a large amount, and leveling up these operators you can also use XP tokens if you have unlocked them from the battle pass, so that's another great thing to use. Now I don't know if, for example, if you were to use a different weapon you wouldn't have this XP boost, so just once again, if you're going to be using a certain weapon or a certain operator and you want to level up a weapon, definitely use them correlating to their actual, you know, character weapon. And now the last thing that I'm going to go over is the PlayStation method that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you are a PlayStation gamer, you have a 25 weapon XP boost if you play with a friend. Now by a friend it means you have to be Activision friends, so it could be anyone. And a great way, if you do not have anyone to play with, I will link our Discord server down in the description, which does have a looking for group section, and if you type in there, hopefully enough people will join that, and hopefully enough people already have Vanguard and play on PlayStation if you are specifically looking for that, and you can all help each other out and level up these weapons. Now you don't have to, you know, talk to each other. You can just join a game together on multiplayer and just keep hopping into multiple games until, let's say, you're both satisfied, and you can go off, grind camos on multiplayer or grind camos on zombies. So those are currently the best methods, and currently the attachments and characters and other things like that, the best thing to use to unlock XP levels for your weapons. Hopefully Sledgehammer does come out with a bit of a nerf, a bit of a change to this XP, because it's a bit intense. Either decrease it or increase the amount of XP that we get, and also it would be lovely if they could also decrease some of the requirements for the camos, because 4,000 kills in zombies feels a bit ridiculous. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you subscribe. Thank you so much if you joined the Discord, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.